The last and second bill on our agenda is Representative McDonald's House File 923. I'll move that House File 923 be laid over for possible inclusion in the Human Services Finance Bill. Welcome to the committee, Representative McDonald. Please tell us about your bill. I'm not seeing any amendments.
Madam Chair, that is correct. There are no amendments to the bill. Good to be back in front of HHS. I spent about 4 years in my previous terms with HHS, so it's near and dear to my heart still. Here in this very committee and in various settings across the state of Minnesota, there are important conversations taking place about how we as a state can support Minnesota with disabilities to live meaningful lives in our communities. Lives based on their own choices and about where and how they live, learn, work, and play. These conversations are resulting in many innovative ideas for how to move towards this shared goal while using state dollars in the most cost-effective way, including ideas for reforming existing programs, integrating and increasing choices for individuals around how they are limited support dollars, and more. However, communities inclusion can only be successful if it is guided by self-advocacy individuals with disabilities. Speaking of which, I need to put my glasses on, pardon me. Self-advocacy individuals with disabilities naming their own vision of what they want with their lives and what they want to look like. That self-advocacy must be the foundation, whether it takes place within their own family, in their place of work or school or living, in their local community or here at the Capitol. Or to put it another way, people with disabilities must share the leadership of this work with their own inclusion. The grants funds proposed in this very bill would support specific activities focused on development of these leadership and self-advocacy skills in Minnesota with disabilities. This bill has been in front of this committee before, and this committee has successfully supported this idea and bill in the past. It's a wonderful bill and a great opportunity for those with disabilities in the state of Minnesota. I'm going to turn it over now to my testifier, Mary Kay Kennedy with ACT, Center for Disability Leadership, to provide a further brief of the testimony on the bill. Madam Chair.
Thank you, Representative McDonald. Mary Kay Kennedy, welcome to the committee. Please introduce yourself for the record and proceed.
Well, thank you, Chair Schultz and members of the committee. My name is Mary Kay Kennedy, and I'm the Executive Director with the ACT Center for Disability Leadership. So I'm really appreciate the opportunity to give testimony today on this bill. So when you think of the rights that folks with disabilities have, and those rights are often written on pieces of paper, and the rights that they actually know about and are supported to exercise, there really is a significant gap there. There's a gap between what their rights are and what they know about. So I wanted to just give the committee just a few examples of really common kinds of things that we see with the folks that we're working with. So at a recent workshop, we were talking about housing, and one of the fellows said, well, I'd really like to move. I'm not happy where I am, but if I moved, I wouldn't have anybody to give me my medications, so I can't move. Another one said that she's not allowed to have any guests in her home. She lives in foster care, and the foster provider says, no, this is my home. If you want to be with your friends, you go out in the community. You can't have anyone in here. Another fella said, you know, I knew I had the right to vote, but I didn't know I had any of these other rights that you're talking about. And then just a final kind of a little example is one of the gals really wanted to go and order out from a local restaurant. And the powers that be said, nope, you're on a calorie restricted diet, and that's just not going to happen. So people really, even though we have wonderful policy and wonderful ideas about the rights that people ought to have in this world, for many, many, many people, they just simply don't know about those rights and are not supported to exercise those rights. So at the ACT Center, we do a couple of things. We administer a statewide network of disability groups of folks with intellectual and developmental disabilities. And we create tons of training for folks. So we create trainings that can go out to every part of our state just to share this message about you have rights and you belong in this world. So for many people with intellectual disabilities, they really have lived in, we kind of call it service bubbles, where they really are not out there interacting with people with and without disabilities. So that's the really great news is that when we provide disability supports and disability inclusion supports and self-advocacy training, we really see some really great results. So I don't know if you can see this picture, but it's a picture of one of our groups that joined a community garden. So they joined and they met their neighbors and they started to form relationships, and they're sharing and they're weeding the other people's plots, and people are coming over to help them. So it's really a fabulous example of people being supported to be part of their community and how everybody really benefits when that happens. So I have just dozens of examples of people starting volunteer clubs, teaching each other how to use Uber and Lyft, getting their phone books out and figuring out, hey, that cousin that I haven't seen for 4 years, I'm going to call that cousin and see if she wants to go out for a beer. So people, once we kind of get people rolling on this idea of you deserve to be part of community, it's really, we really do see some fabulous results. So basically, I guess in short, our program is trying to narrow that disparity gap between the rights people have and the rights they know about and are supported to exercise, and just to support people to get out there and be regular Joes in the community side by side with everyone else. So basically what this bill will allow us to do is to maintain this statewide network that we have that works beautifully to get the word out to folks about their rights. And some of the funds in this legislation will go directly to the regions across the state so that they can reach more people. So that's always a big issue, the number of people that we're able to reach. And it just allows us to continue with our networking and conferencing, and again, just getting that word out. And it positions our members across the state to continue to be leaders in disability leaders in Minnesota's Olmsted and disability inclusion efforts. So we're super proud of the work and the leadership that folks with intellectual and developmental disabilities have played in Minnesota's integration efforts. So that's it with what I have to say. And we have another testifier who is a member of the ACT Center. She's a facilitator of these trainings that I was just talking about. She's a peer facilitator. She's a member of the, or she's a graduate of the Olmsted Academy. So it's really a powerful, passionate, wonderful Minnesota leader. So I'd like to introduce Cynthia Gayles.
Thank you, Ms. Kennedy. I'll go to questions after this testifier. Cynthia Gayles, welcome to the committee. Please introduce yourself and start your testimony.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Chair and members of the committee. My name is Cynthia Gayles, and I'm a part of the ACT team, Advocating Change Together. I just want to say a few things about how the program has empowered my life and made many changes. Before the ACT program was around, I knew nothing about disability rights. I was one of them people that was like, disability rights, what is that? You know, I was always told what to do, when to do it, and how to do it, and was made to feel like it was in my best interest. So once I enrolled in the ACT program, I have become a better person. I know how to now speak up for myself and what I believe. And now I feel that I do have a choice to live the way I want. You know, I wish that this program was around when in my younger days, and my life would have been much, much better. You know, I am now in a program helping people who know nothing about their disability rights. We have an hands program that we help people to understand through skits, plays, um, song, dance. You know, we're just trying to get it out there that just because you're disabled or you have a disability doesn't mean that you can't be treated equally. You know, and the program is excellent. It's excellent, and it works. And not only for me to say that it works, it's been proven that it works because in December I accepted a National Human Rights Educational Award for the ACT program. And that was a really great challenge for me. So, yeah, I feel like the program really works. I mean, I'm here to let you know it helped me in my life, and we're helping others in their struggles in their lives. And I just wish that we could continue the program. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Gayles, and congratulations on the award. And I'm really
Thank you.
grateful. I'm really glad that you received a great benefit from it and continue to do so. So members, there is a fiscal note that was sent out. It's $248,000 annually. And now I will go to questions. Chair Liebling.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So this might be for Ms. Kennedy. I don't know if members are totally familiar with the regional quality councils that have been around for a while. They work on improving quality in disability services, and I don't think they exist everywhere. But they're you know, it's been sort of a growing model, and they do this thing called voice reviews, which is a way of helping people with disabilities evaluate, or way of evaluating quality in our programs by actually talking to the people who are experiencing the program and asking them what they want and what quality means for them. So my question for Ms. Kennedy is there any interaction between the program you're talking about today and these voice reviews that are done by the quality councils? Does this overlap? Doesn't the voice review kind of try to get at the same thing, maybe from a different angle?
Ms. Kennedy?
Yes, thank you, Representative, and thank you for the question. You know, I think you're absolutely right. I think they're the same thing, just coming at it from a little bit different angle. So some of our members have definitely been some of the people that have conducted those voice reviews. And I think it's just about layering so that they do the voice review and then going out into their community and gathering more information and more personal power. So kind of the way we look at just this road to living a higher quality of life is building up your personal power and thinking about how you are part of a bigger system that includes voice reviews and quality assurance and some of the goals of our state and our country in terms of how people with disabilities ought to have more say in their life. And then, you know, just getting out there and enjoying life. So I don't have to kind of back to that question. I'm not, I know that many of our members have been part of those quality reviews and have participated in being the interviewers for measuring quality, but I don't have a deep understanding of all of the aspects of that program.
Chair Liebling?
That's great, thank you.
Representative Albright?
Madam Chair and Representative McDonald, thank you for bringing this initiative before the committee. I want to pick up on something that Representative Liebling said, and I concur with Representative Liebling. I think it's very important that we look at all programs, but I think there's a key difference that I want to just highlight for the members of the committee. As I listened to the testimony of both Ms. Kennedy and Ms. Gayles, I identified that it isn't just about informing individuals about their rights, but I think it's also very, very important that you empower them to be able and train them to have the ability to act on those rights. And there is a clear delineation between those two. And as this program clearly portrays, you are empowering folks that are going through the curriculum to act on those rights in a way that is polite, respectful, and within the realm of reason and sense when they're interacting with the public, as well as moving themselves to have a best life. As we often say in this committee, Chair Schultz, and we talk about the book that we are all hopefully reading at some point. I think it's important that we recognize that the folks that come through these programs, they're looking for an opportunity to make themselves reach their choice of best potential and empower them. And I congratulate Ms. Kennedy and Ms. Gayles for doing just that. And I would urge the members of the committee to wholly support this. I understand it's being laid over for possible inclusion, but I would really urge members to really think thoughtfully and positively about this. And again, thank you, Representative McDonald, for bringing this before the committee.
Thank you, Representative Albright. Let's see, Ms. Kennedy, did you want to comment? Otherwise, I'll turn it over to Representative McDonald for closing remarks. I'm not seeing any more questions from members.
Well, Representative, just before, I just would like to comment and just thank Representative McDonald and just note that he doesn't only, Representative McDonald, you don't just work on this on a policy level, you live this. So Representative McDonald is one that comes to our meetings, interacts with our people, has sloppy joes with us, and interacts. So just by example, kind of lives the spirit of what we're trying to do, is just form a community where everybody cares about everybody else and is encouraging to everyone. So I just wanted to thank Representative McDonald for that.
Thank you, Ms. Kennedy. Representative McDonald, closing remarks.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Ms. Kennedy. Mary Kay and I have worked together on this for a number of years, and she's wonderful to work with, and she has such a great passion, and you can see from her smiling face that she makes such a big difference in people's lives. And I appreciate the comments by Representative Albright and Liebling as well. This really gives the opportunity for those who have developmentally disability and those with disabilities to take and empower and get their lives back and know their rights and empower others with disabilities to know those rights and to really live a quality of life of not segregation, but integration, and be involved in the community, be involved in their parishes and their schools, their families and the groups that they live in. And it does wonderful, wonderful things for for that community. The last time this committee voted and we passed into law was in 2017 for the funds. And as you can see, it's a very limited amount of funds. They're very frugal, very careful with every dollar. But so 2017 was the last time. So it is again time. We would love to, Madam Chair, to have you consider this, or actually maybe put it on the top 10 priorities back into the omnibus bill, to empower those with disabilities to know their rights and to live a great quality, beautiful life, just like you and me. And with that said, I thank you for the time in the committee and let you know that, yes, Mary Kay or Ms. Kennedy, I've been active with the group for a couple of years, and it's so refreshing and so beautiful to be with the group and listen to their stories and give hugs and eat sloppy joes and whatever we do to celebrate their life and the victories that the state has allowed them and their families, and a great group like ACT has done for them. So thank you, Madam Chair, committee members. Always good to be in front of the group, even though it's Zoom back in HHS. So thank you, and Madam Chair, that's all I have for now.
Thank you, Representative McDonald. So I'm going to renew my motion to lay House File 923 over for possible inclusion in the Human Services Finance Omnibus Bill.